Last month, we saw the Calgary real estate market start to slow down, and we even saw some price decreases. So I think the question we all have are whether prices are going to continue to drop or whether they're going to continue to increase. My name is Zach. I'm a local realtor here in Calgary, and I feel like there's two camps of people. There's those that want the market to crash so they can buy their first place, and there's also those that want prices to continue to increase so they can build more equity. So my question for you is, which camp are you in? Now, let's just get started and get right into the video. Starting with interest rates, the Bank of Canada dropped the interest rate by 0.25% at the very beginning of the month. Now, I mentioned this in my previous market update, but a lot of buyers and investors have been waiting for this. So I actually think this could increase competition and actually increase prices. I'll put some of the interest rates that you can get today on the screen. Of course, talk to a mortgage professional, but this is just to get you an idea. Now let's get right into the market stats. I'm actually going to switch to a PowerPoint just because I think it conveys information a little bit better. So I'll see you in the PowerPoint right now. Okay, so we're in the PowerPoint June 2024 recap. Our price is going up or down. Let's get right into the stats. So starting off with sales, sales shows us which areas are busy, the actual price people are paying, and will help us piece together whether it's a buyer's or seller's market. So more properties sold over $700,000 compared to lower price points last month. And the chief economist at the Calgary Real Estate Board said that this reflects supply challenges in the lower price points, aka there's not enough homes under $700,000. So if you're someone looking for a more affordable option, you're gonna have way less options available to you, and you can expect to compete because there's a lot of people looking for that. And if you are selling something under $700,000, that could be good for you because you're gonna have more people able and wanting to purchase that property. So there's 2,738 sales in June. This is 354 more than May. So there's a little bit more action, but not like a significant amount more. It's pretty steady. And right now, 40% of homes are selling above list price. Inventory and new listings. This gives us context with the sales so we can figure out the demand and supply and who the market is favoring. We had 3,798 new listings in June. This is 535 less new listings than last month. So it just shows us that less people are putting their home up for sale. At the end of June, there's almost 4,000 homes on the market. And the important thing that you might see here is that there's less new listings, but there's more inventory than last month. And the reason for this, I think, is because properties in the higher price points could be sitting on the market for longer, which results in the overall inventory increasing because it may take more than a month to sell something that's $800,000, $900,000. You get the point. So less people are selling, but properties are sitting on the market for longer overall. Now, months of supply. This is my favorite stat. It's very insightful. This is how I determine whether it's a buyer's market, a balanced market, or a seller's market. Months of supply tells us how long it would take to sell all of the current inventory in the current market conditions. Anything between 2.5 to 4 months of supply is considered a balanced market in Calgary. Anything under 2.5 months favors sellers. Anything over 4 months favors buyers. Right now, Calgary has 1.38 months of supply. Last month was 1.10 months of supply. So the market became slightly more balanced, but it's still a strong seller's market. And what this means right here is that it's taken just under a month and a half. It would take just under a month and a half to sell everything that's for sale right now, based on like the current market conditions. Now let's go over prices. I've created a chart. As you can see, I've gone back to every month this year from January all the way until June, what the benchmark prices were for those months and the dollar increase or decrease from those months. So as we can see, the benchmark price in June is $608,000. And that's a $2,700 increase compared to the previous month of May. And this is just the benchmark price for all property types, all locations in Calgary. And we can see that the total increase this year is $35,700, which is about $5,950 each month on average. Now for apartments, I did the same thing. We could see that last month we had a price decrease by $5,700, but apartments are bouncing back. So they're at $344,700 now, which was a $4,200 increase compared to last month. So the total increase this year for apartments is $20,700, which is about $3,450 a month. And if this is too fast, just screenshot or pause the video or whatever you need to do. Now for townhomes, we can see that they were crushing it, but they're starting to slow down. Once again, you're kind of seeing this with all property types, everything's starting to slow down. So in June, the benchmark price was $464,600, which was a $2,100 increase compared to the previous month. And the total increase this year is $38,200, which is about $6,366 a month. I should also probably explain why I'm putting this down at the bottom. It's just to show you how much prices are increasing, because a lot of people are wanting to wait a few months before buying to see if prices decrease or whatever, or just situations. This will just give you context as to how much more you might be paying based on the previous months this year. So if you were to buy in 3 months, it could be around $18,000 more, for example, something like that. So just, that's how you're supposed to use this information, but do with it what you want. Now, semi-detached. Started off a little bit negative, but it's been crushing it the entire year. 14,000 in February, almost 19,000 in March, 10,000 in April, almost 10,000 in May, and it's pretty strong last month as well with $8,100. The benchmark price is now $686,100. And the reason why semi-detached homes are crushing it right now is it's appealing to a lot of different buyer types. So first-time home buyers, it's a more affordable option. Most of them don't have condo fees, I'd say, depending on where you're buying. Of course, some of them do. But it's also great for investors, whether you're going to rent out the upstairs or downstairs, or you're going to do a flip. There's just so many people that are interested in it right now that's really pushing the prices up. So we can see that this year, prices increased by $61,100, which is about $10,000 a month. So definitely a hot property right now. Now for detached homes, similar story. It was absolutely crushing in February, absolutely crushing in March. April is slowed down quite a bit, but still like big increase. May was strong, and June was the first month where it was a little bit less strong. And with that being said, it still increased by almost $6,000, but it wasn't in the double digits for pretty much the first time. I mean, April wasn't either, but it's pretty close. You know what I'm saying? So the total increase this year is $65,400, which is also about $11,000 a month, just under. And now back to the video. Okay, so now for advice for homeowners, buyers, and investors, I'm gonna start with home buyers. So right now there's a lot of competition, right? So you want to separate yourself from the rest. Now, what sellers want is a smoother process, and they don't want to have to worry about anything. So the way to help reduce their stress, which can help your offer get accepted, is by being proactive with your conditions. So for financing, there's typically 3 conditions: financing, home inspection, condo document review if you're buying a condo. For financing, it's always best to send a pre-approval letter with your offer. This shows the seller that you can get financing, and it gives them more confidence. Home inspection, you still have to do that, but just emphasize that you're not going to nitpick everything, and try to have a home inspector in as soon as possible so that condition can be shorter. And then for the condo document review, I think it's always best to try to get the condo documents before you write an offer. That way you can skim through them, see if there's any big issues that you need to address before writing the offer. And if there are issues, at least you brought it to the seller's attention. They know you're aware of it, and they're less worried that you're gonna find out and be surprised later on and walk away from the deal. That was a lot of information, but second tip is make sure that your realtor is part of exclusive realtor groups that can see off-market and coming soon properties, because 1, it can get you in faster, and 2, it could give you a potential opportunity to buy the property before it even hits the market. And if you don't have to compete, that's always best. Okay, so now my advice for investors is very similar to buyers. Take everything I said, apply that, with the addition of when you do a cash flow analysis or a flip analysis or any analysis to make sure that the numbers make sense for your investment, make sure you work in competition into those numbers, because most likely you're going to be competing. It's probably going to be above list price, and you want to make sure that it still makes sense for you as an investment. A lot of investors will do a cash flow analysis with the list price, and then they'll end up paying more, and then they'll be surprised that the numbers don't work out the same. And finally, my advice for sellers. You want to get people super excited about your listing. So I'd highly recommend doing a coming soon campaign a couple days before it hits the market. This could be Facebook posts, Kijiji posts, reaching out to friends, messaging all your contacts in your network. And the reason why this works so well is it feels exclusive. It feels like an invite to a private party, and people love having information before the public has information. So you could get a lot of interest, and the first couple days will be busy, and when it's busy, people are like, oh, this property must be great, and you could get a higher price. So I know I rambled a bit there, but a coming soon campaign can really help you get a better price and sell quicker. If you have any questions about your specific neighborhood, send me an email at zach@yourcalgaryrealty.com. Thank you so much for watching, and if you want more Calgary and Calgary real estate related content, be sure to hit the like and subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.